Hello, hope you're doing well, hope you're doing fantastic. And this is a slightly different type of video from us today, mainly because we've had some exciting news. Universal Great Britain has officially been announced.
Oh, happy days.
Yes. Amazing news that kind of broke last night and this morning.
Yeah.
Confirmed by the Prime Minister himself, who's done a few tweets. And we've seen concept art. We've seen so much. We've seen rumours flying around.
Yeah. Everyone's making their own, rumours about what's going to come and what's going to be there. And that's really exciting. So it's all kicking off, isn't it,
What
on
a
social
buzz.
media right now.
Just a crazy buzz going on right now. Just historic time for the UK theme park industry. And so we just thought we'd jump on this video. Sorry about this setup and shadows. Bowser's casting a shadow right now. We just kind of put this together to make this video and discuss a few things and our thoughts and opinions on this exciting news. So we thought we would go through a few bits about this breaking news. And the first thing I guess we have to say is our reaction, right?
Yeah.
Whew. I had to take them off. It's hot now. Okay, secondly, we thought we'd go through the concept art. Crazy. We've got concept art.
I know, I can't believe it. I didn't think we'd be getting concept art so early on in this process.
Because there was a lot of obviously bubbling around the scenes that this was going to be announced very soon.
Yeah. And, people were talking about it.
And then suddenly it was like, oh yeah, here's the news, here's the concept art. And
no messing around with that, was there?
Yeah, absolutely crazy.
Here you go, here's your park.
Yeah. So with that, has come some rumours of some lands. It seems there's a consensus on some of these lands, isn't there?
There's a running theme. I think there's some lands that everybody is saying that's what it is.
Yeah. And whilst we don't have any insider info, for a little bit more in depth, we thought we would share our thoughts on what was rumoured first of all. So what seems to be quite popular at the minute, Jurassic World.
Yes.
Jurassic World.
Which I have no complaints about if that is the case.
If we get that Beijing Jurassic World Adventure, I think it's called.
I think it's called something like that. I've seen some POVs of that ride on TikTok and things like that, and always thought it looked amazing.
I know. Like, I'm just sitting there thinking, we can just pop to Universal.
I know.
And then there'll just be these giant dinosaur animatronics just walking towards your ride vehicle.
It's
in Bedford,
madness.
In the UK.
It's actually mad, really, when you think about it, because we're not even far away from Bedford, are we?
No.
So it's a hop, skip and jump for us to get there. So it's just mad to think about that in 6 years' time, we can go and potentially be seeing some dinosaurs.
I'm going to get emotional. Yeah, so obviously that's been rumoured, and I think that looked, if it's Jurassic World Adventure or a version of Happy Days, what a start. We've seen James Bond / Waterworld. I think the Waterworld comparisons were because there was a like a stadium with water surrounding it.
At the back of the park, isn't it?
Yeah. And what's your thoughts on like it being Bond as a bit of a dash of UK over perhaps Waterworld, which is popular in?
I think it makes sense because really, I think it's nice to have something unique to the UK, something that's ours. We can go, that's our thing, and it attracts people from all over the world because people love James Bond. It's a great film series. So
yeah, because I'm seeing obviously there's so much discussion going on Twitter and so on, which is amazing. But there's some people that sit on the side of no, give us the US IPs, don't give us any UK stuff. There's some people that are saying no, we should have a dash of what makes Great Britain.
Yeah.
You kind of sit on, you don't mind a bit of UK in there?
I don't mind a bit of UK. I think we should have just IPs that everybody loves.
Yeah.
And I'll be happy with that. And I do think it's good to pay a little bit of, this is the UK. have some UK
Yeah.
stuff. Why not?
See, I sit on the other side. I'm like, keep it out of it. But to be honest with you, I think that's easy for me to say because I kind of sat there this morning processing everything that's going on. And I think I was like, it's easy for me to say, oh, is James Bond really that much of a pull to a theme park nowadays? Hasn't been a film for a while. And I think that's easy for me to say when I'm not into that franchise.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people who are into that franchise.
That's it.
And that's what we need to remember here. It's not just a select number of people who know the Universal Parks already and are like, this is what I want. They've got to target it to what the public want to hear.
That's it. But not just that, because obviously, I think you mentioned, Bond is huge worldwide.
Yeah.
Just because I don't watch it and I'm not fussed about there being Bond in the park,
Yeah.
it's got a huge international pull where
It has.
if it's, rather than a clone park, if they said, look, we're giving you a James Bond land that no other Universal or theme park, I believe,
I
in
don't
the
think
world
James
has
Bond
got
is
James
anywhere.
Bond, might be wrong. That's also a pull to international guests across Europe and
It's
beyond
unique
as well.
So I'm all for that if that happens. But if not, I'm happy with whatever happens, to be honest. But
Yeah, I've heard good things about Waterworld, but I have no doubt they do an amazing stunt type show
yeah.
for Bond. So whatever it is, it's the same thing with conversations about Paddington as well. We're not Paddington fans, but it has a big pull. The movies are successful.
People love Paddington Bear.
It's extremely popular in this country and worldwide as well. It's easy for us as non-fans to say, no, give us Minions and give us
DreamWorks or Trolls or
Yeah.
something like that for the kids. But
I mean, I still want that.
that's what I'd prefer.
Yeah. It's hard, isn't it? Because I look at it and say, it's easy to say clone these parks. You know, I'm on the fence with it because it's like,
We know what works.
yeah, and we'll get onto this, but some people aren't going to go to Orlando. They're not fussed about doing like 8 theme parks, SeaWorld, Busch Gardens, the Disney parks, Universal.
No.
So this might be their only way they're bothered about going to Universal. So I'm a little bit like, it would be cool to have Minions and Shrek and just do a typical Universal park
Yeah.
rather than unique. But I also know that some IPs in this country are huge and I'm just not giving them the respect they deserve, I guess.
I just don't think we're the target audience for a lot of the IPs that they're thinking about.
Yeah, well, rumoured
To be thinking about.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people have said Paddington for the kids area, and I can see why they would do it. I don't personally want it. Like you've said, I'd rather have Trolls, things like that, DreamWorks. But I could see why they do it. So I wouldn't be fully against it if they bought it because I can understand.
Yeah.
And I think they do a
right.
great job. They do a good job. And obviously they have brought out, I mean, I don't know when the most recent Paddington Bear movie came out. It wasn't that long ago, was it?
No, I don't think so.
So they keep bringing them out. And I know they're loved by so many people in the UK.
And there was also rumoured one that I wasn't expecting, but absolutely buzzing for whatever happens is Back to the Future.
Yes.
Like Hill Valley. Oh my goodness.
That wasn't on the radar for me. I didn't even
No.
think of that. But I can see why people are thinking Back to the Future. I think was rumoured previously for other theme parks that Universal own, wasn't it? And then it just never came to fruition. And obviously they used to have Back to the Future ride at Studios Orlando.
Rest in peace.
But I do think they're looking at it with that spike coaster, aren't they? With Back to the Future, which I can understand because you've got to get to 88 miles per hour in the DeLorean to time travel. Where's a spike? That spike is going to get you to that.
Yeah, the coaster looks insane. Hill Valley would be insane. Someone made a point online that was quite a good thing is I think Back to the Future is actually very, very big in the UK. It has, I think it was the first place where they did the musical. I think it basically premiered in the UK.
It's very popular as well here.
It was the first place with Secret Cinema did a Back to the Future. So maybe they've done their market research and they've think Back to the Future is the way to go. I just think, imagine walking through Hill Valley and they're playing The Power of Love and stuff like that.
That would be great.
Sell us some skateboards.
Oh,
the merch. I mean, they already have Back to the Future merch in Orlando and beyond. So
I'd be all for that.
Massive win. And then we got that kind of area that seems a little bit split on opinion. Something Shrek / DreamWorks. Some are saying Lord of the Rings.
I have seen that thrown about a little bit.
You've never seen Lord of the Rings, right?
I've never seen the Lord of the Rings, any of them.
I like the Lord of the Rings, not an avid fan. Some beautiful landscapes that I think they could build a land into.
I've seen people mention that Lord of the Rings have a lot of mountains in it or something, and someone said that's good for our landscape, like you said.
Yeah, I think it would translate into a very pretty theme park land. I don't know what story or anything they could choose with that land as such.
I wouldn't have a
But
clue.
it is one of those again where I kind of sat there and I thought, oh no, I think I'd rather Shrek. But for years, all we've seen online is people talk about where's the Lord of the Rings land coming at any theme park. Like I think it's been well protected by the author's estate. I'm not sure on the backstory there.
Yeah.
So either one of those is a win. I'm like give me Shrek.
I'd want Shrek.
Yeah, I just think it's just like my Universal glasses on, where I'm like, that has a bigger pull. Shrek has a bigger pull than anything Lord of the Rings.
Especially
it's probably not the case
here as well. I think we have. I mean, obviously everywhere people talk about Shrek, but Shrek is so widely known here, and I think
so is Lord of the Rings.
So is Lord of the Rings. You're right, but when you think about it, we've obviously got DreamWorks. We did have Shrek 4D. But now we don't have any dedicated Shrek ride. But they obviously got the well-themed land. And I'd like something like that here.
I'd love that. Like, again, I think it's easy to say when not mega Lord of the Rings fans. There's probably Lord of the Rings fans saying, finally, it's being rumoured. So we are just giving our opinion on what we want. And I did see today as well, because obviously Minions has been touted for one of the corners.
Oh, you can't go wrong with Minions though, can you?
But also someone on a forum, one of the flat rides looks like a Pokemon.
I've seen
and
that.
And the Pokemon, it looks like a shape of a Pokemon Center. Because, again, I'm not going to pretend I know all of the Nintendo contracts, but I think they have to put something Nintendo in every theme park, but maybe I'm wrong.
I think, obviously, we've seen Mario done now in both US parks.
Yeah.
We've seen Mario done in Japan. So, Mario's done. I think Pokemon's next. Surely.
I mean, I will lose my mind. I mean, let's have Minions and Pokemon for a start. But
surely we're due a Pokemon land.
I just sit there, I just think, if Universal really just wanted to just mic drop one of the biggest brands into the park, like one of the biggest IP pools ever, having it in the UK, a Pokemon land would be incredible.
It'd be monstrous, I think, for us to have a Pokemon land here. Everyone loves Pokemon. I think it works well for every age group. So I think it's the perfect IP to have at our Universal Park. Adults love Pokemon, they've grown up with it. Kids now love Pokemon, they're growing up with it. Like, Pokemon's something that everybody knows. Yeah. So why not have it?
It's just all so exciting. It really is so exciting.
And I can't believe we're still actually talking about it.
I know. This is such an exciting point, because it's almost like I love seeing a discussion. I love seeing everyone saying, "Oh, well, this looks like this," and it's like, the concept art may change. Who knows? But I tell you what, just having Jurassic World in there for a start is an absolute bonus. So now we'll get on to perhaps a couple of omissions that a lot of people have picked up on this concept art. Yeah. Number one, no Harry Potter. It seems.
I don't mind that.
Okay.
I don't mind that. I think we've got the Harry Potter studio tour just down the road.
Yeah.
That's just there. How much Harry Potter do we need in one place? I love Harry Potter, by the way. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love that franchise so much. But I think it's good to not start that park with Harry Potter. Yeah. I think you could add it on.
Yeah, and that, to me though, it is wild a little bit. Like, I'm not fussed, as in I'm not upset. I'm not looking at it going, "Oh no, Harry Potter world." Yeah. But that's wild, given where the source of the books are, and
yeah, it is. But it gives them
a
perfect
UK
opportunity though to develop into more Harry Potter stuff. So if they go, right, this park's open now, what's our next expansion going to be? Harry Potter might be first on the list. I think it's good to start off a park and then allow yourself to add amazing things to it later on. Yeah.
I just find it a little bit wild if it doesn't open with some form of Potter. Like, it might be a gift shop maybe, but I'm looking at it thinking, hang on, like, we don't know, and I don't know, sorry, the contract perhaps between the Warner Brothers studio and Universal, and Warner Brothers have said no. I just think, how How can you not have a Harry Potter? Like, there's still, you know, I know they've done the castle, they've done Diagon, they've done Gringotts, they're now doing the streets of Paris and Ministry. There's still more locations. If they wanted to do a UK exclusive and make it different from the rest, there's other locations they could do.
There's other things they could do, and it's a big franchise, Harry Potter, and you could do lots and lots with it.
Yeah.
So I don't think we'll have that park open and we'll never see Harry Potter.
Yeah, because there are probably millions of Harry Potter fans in this country.
Yes.
That, like I said before, might not be mega theme park fans, might be Orlando fans who are going to fly over to Orlando. They're just Harry Potter fans.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not going to fly over to Orlando, fly over to Hollywood and go and see the Harry Potter lands, because then you got, you know, it's expensive. You've got to buy a lot of day tickets. They're not bothered about Disney, not bothered about this.
No.
But they are in this country, and if you
you can see it just from the studio tour. They sell out over Christmas and things.
That's it.
You can't get a ticket there.
I find it crazy that they're not opening with something, because all those Potter fans will go, I've never fussed about flying 9 hours to go and see Diagon Alley and pay all that money when all these theme parks there I don't care about.
Yeah.
And now there's a Harry Potter land in Bedford. I don't know. I'm surprised it's not there. There might be a reason, and like you said, they might add it another day.
Yeah, so it's an opportunity for expansion, I think, at this point.
Yeah. So, out of everything that's been rumoured, is there anything that you've seen so far, rumour-wise, or is there something that you would like to see? You know, that hasn't already been rumoured?
That hasn't already been rumoured.
I would imagine you would have said Pokemon before the rumour started to circulate.
I would have said Pokemon straight away. I know we've got it opening at Epic. I'd have still liked to see How to Train Your Dragon here.
Excellent point. Yeah.
It's a great landscape for it.
Is it DreamWorks?
DreamWorks is How to Train Your Dragon, yeah.
We might get a DreamWorks land where there's a nod, I guess.
Yeah, potentially. I think it would do really well here. Again, people have How to Train Your Dragon here as well. The landscape, like I said, is perfect for How to Train Your Dragon. The weather's good for How to Train Your Dragon. When you look at the movies, like, it feels like British weather.
Yeah,
so,
we're more ready-made for it than
we're
than
ready
Epic
for How to Train Your Dragon. So I would have liked to have seen that, and hopefully we will see it. I don't know, but it would be nice to see a How to Train Your Dragon nod somewhere in that park.
I think there will be. Next, very early doors. I'm intrigued how they're going to price this place. I really am. I know it's very early. They're not even laid a brick down.
No.
But my brain has been
the price
thinking...
point is going to be higher than what UK guests expect to pay. We're used to Merlin prices here, really. You know, you're looking at day ticket, you can get in roughly about 34 quid to a British theme park. I don't think we're looking at that for Universal. Yeah. I think you're looking at no offers, and it's going to be a high price point.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to see Orlando day ticket prices.
No. It's only one park as well. You're not going to see Orlando day ticket prices for this one. But I think it will be higher than what people are used to. Yeah,
I think so. I think when they, again, this is so early, but I think when they launch ticketing, whenever that is down the line, oh my goodness, I can't wait. But I think they'll be competitive at first. I really do. I think they're going to want to test the waters. If they come out and go, it's £110 for a day ticket or something like that, I think they're going to be hit with a bit of a negative response.
Yeah.
I think it will be, they maybe will look at when Disneyland Paris first opened, and I think they'll go in competitive. They don't want to come in and annoy.
50 quid price point.
Because I think Singapore is about £50-60, isn't it, for a day ticket?
Yeah.
I think they'll be competitive. I really do, because I think the last thing you want to do is just annoy the general public before you've even opened the doors.
You can't do that. And obviously it's still 6 years away, so we don't know what ticket prices are going to be like in 6 years' time.
Very true.
But if I was pricing it today, I'd probably go, probably about 50 quid to start with. Higher than the Merlin Park still, and you know, so like Blackpool Pleasure Beach and stuff, but low enough that families can still go, I can afford that.
Because if we're talking about the rides that were being rumoured, they are not cheap to build.
No.
So they're going to price it higher, which is, it's a more premium product. No offence. It's going to be.
But it is going to be a more premium product.
And I think they'll go very competitive, and then we'll just get the price rises, as Universal and Disney parks love to do.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're going to have the separate ticketed events for our special events maybe as well in the park. Are we going to see a Halloween Horror Night?
Oh, we need to see Bedford in the fog so badly. Yeah, I think it would be crazy if they didn't do HHN at some point. Maybe
well,
not opening
we love our
year.
scare attractions here in the UK. They do very well. They're very popular.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see them on a very different scale.
I think so. I think
park.
Maybe not opening year. Who knows? But I think it's coming.
Surely
they're not going to leave
that.
HHN. They're not going to leave that market untapped, are they? Like this. Oh my goodness! There's so much to discuss. Finally, before we wrap up the video, what do you think, honestly, or how do you think, honestly, like places like Merlin as a whole are going to react to this?
I'm hoping it's going to be good for Merlin. I think they're going to have a bit of a wake-up call that they're going to need to take maybe just a little ounce more care into their parks. I'm not saying they don't take care now, but just a little bit more investment, where it's needed. I think we've had this conversation before, actually, where we've kind of said, I think they're going to stick with we're the cheap family option.
Yeah, well, cheap.
Not cheap, but we're the affordable family option.
Yeah, position
and we're
themselves.
proud of it.
Yeah, I think they've got to position themselves. This isn't meant as an insult, but like that Six Flags regional, okay, you can have your Universal, you can have your 70, 80, 90, 100, who knows, ticket prices and your £400 a night rooms, although Merlin definitely does that as well.
Yeah.
But we're still, if you want an annual pass, you can pay £20 a month for it.
Yeah.
If you want, because
we're accessible to everybody. That's what I think Merlin will stick with.
I think trying to go head to head with Universal or something would just be a silly move.
You can't do it.
They'll position themselves as if you're a family of four or something and you want to go out, we're not talking theme park enthusiasts and annual pass holders. We're talking about a family that's just decided in half term to go on a family trip.
Yeah.
You can go and do Universal for a day and stay in a hotel and probably spend north of £1,000.
Yes.
We will probably be half that price. There will be a lot of families that will still do that.
I absolutely think so. I don't think it's going to put Merlin out. I've seen a lot of people talking about how they think Merlin's going to be quite worried about this. I don't think Merlin should be worried. I think they should see it as an opportunity, actually, for them to bring more to their parks. Because if we're having more visitors from across the seas to Universal here, surely we're going to have more visitors to our Merlin parks as well. And I think it's a great thing.
Yeah.
I think we need more visitors to those parks, and I wouldn't be against that at all.
Yeah, we do it, don't we? Look at how when you go over to Orlando, you might go to SeaWorld or you might go to Bush.
You wouldn't
if you're
go
going
there
to Bedford,
just for that, would you?
Yeah, if you're flying over to the UK to check out Universal, Thorpe Park, Chessington, Legoland, all very close and accessible from there. I think the way Merlin has reacted in the last few months has told us that this was coming.
Yes.
And I think they're bracing themselves for probably initially when Universal opens for a down couple of years, because I think there's going to be a lot of public intrigue. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to check out Universal.
Go over to Universal and they'll not avoid Merlin, but not go as often as they perhaps would have done before, or perhaps they'll choose a Universal holiday over a Merlin holiday in the first couple of years. And I think, like you said, Merlin will expect that and be okay with it. But I think Merlin will bring out some of these other IPs that they're thinking of bringing in. And that will be really good for them. I want to see them thrive off of this as well. Absolutely. I don't think it's a bad thing for Universal to be opening here for those parks. Yeah. I think it's good for them.
What is the saying? It's rising tides rise all boats.
I've never heard that saying.
I'm sure it's that. But no, I think overall, if you look at the way Merlin's currently situated, Legoland's fine because Lego's massive.
Yeah.
Thorpe, teen audience, big coasters, just open a new coaster. I think they will always be fine. Just outside London, they'll probably get... I can't see an issue there. Alton Towers, still kind of that premier resort for Merlin.
Yeah.
We've had our criticism. I do think there's work to be done there, but still kind of situated far enough away that I still think they'll be fine. Yeah. Chessington was my biggest concern. Like when the rumours were circulating, whenever that was, in 2023 now, I think the first rumours for this Universal part were.
Yeah, they've been around for a while.
I was kind of sitting there thinking this part will be fine. I was like, Chesterton's got no chance. Like, I'm really worried because if they open a Nintendo something or a Minion something Shrek, like, Chesterton just can't compete with it.
But then obviously now they're going with Minecraft, and I'm like, that's a great move for them because Minecraft is a huge IP.
Massive.
People love Minecraft. Kids absolutely. I mean, we've seen it with the movie that's come out.
Yeah, I bet they're kicking themselves they couldn't get it open for this movie. Although Minecraft's Minecraft, the movie coming out doesn't change the size of it.
No, Minecraft will always be popular and has been for many, many years now.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad that they're moving along with these IPs. And we see a lot of criticism about Merlin in particular using IPs. They want original ideas people are wanting. But I think IPs are good when you use them in the right way. And I think now is the right time to be using IPs. Yeah. We need to tackle the IPs that are coming with Universal.
And
so
I think it's coming to Chesterton, isn't it? That's where all of the stuff we read online, isn't it? Minecraft, they've obviously had Jumanji.
There's
Minecraft,
a lot of developments going on there.
There's other stuff rumoured. They're going to make it the IP park. And that to me is their reaction.
That's them going, you know what? We know that Universal's come in. We have IPs too, just so you know.
Yeah. I think that's exactly how Merlin looked at it. It was probably, Chesterton needs something and fast. The other parks have got their own specific audiences. So. And
we know they can do IPs well. I mean, I quite like the Jumanji area. I know they can do them pretty well.
Yeah.
So I've got high hopes for the Minecraft area, and I think actually this is going to be great for all the parks in the UK.
Yeah.
I like good competition, and we've seen this when people were talking about Epic Universe and things as well. And Disney, haven't we, saying people, you know,
Disney's in trouble.
But
it's
actually,
not.
Competition's great for everybody, and that's why I think Universal coming here is just so good for our theme parks in this country. I think it's going to be amazing for everybody because we're all going to get investment.
We all win.
Everyone wins from this.
Yep.
Merlin go, we need to invest. Blackpool goes, we need to invest. Even things like Polton's will go, we need to invest.
Yep.
And actually, that's really good for us. Why would anyone not like that?
Yeah, fingers crossed. Like, a lot of criticism about Merlin, but I still think they'll position themselves just fine.
Yeah, they know how to slot themselves in the market. So
right, so that's going to do it. Obviously, just thought we'd give our initial thoughts to anybody who was interested in watching. It's so exciting, this news. I just can't believe it. We went and bought a newspaper.
We did actually.
With the news on the front about the theme park to keep us in memory, and we can't wait to watch all of the news, all the construction updates from everyone out there as this thing gets built. And my goodness, Universal is coming to Great Britain.
It still doesn't feel real to say it.
It's happening. It's that although. Where's E.T. Adventure?
Valid point.
If you did watch this video and you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't yet. It would mean the world to us. And yeah, that's going to do it from this little Universal reaction, I guess. So thank you so much for watching. Bye.